Welcome, everyone. If you can take your seats or stand wherever you'd like. There's some nice benches if you look. We want to welcome you to the ribbon cutting ceremony here. And before I introduce the speakers, I just want to say thank you. I know that the Department of Development has been working closely with the state with regards to the grant funds that we received. And I just want a nice round of applause for our Director of Planning and Development, Mrs. Rebecca Yanis. So at this time, I'll introduce her to come up and speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. What an exciting day and week for the city of Dunkirk. We've got the grand opening of the pier and then the Great Lakes Offshore Grand Prix boat races this weekend. So it's such an exciting weekend here at the city of Dunkirk. Thanks everyone for coming out today. I'm Rebecca Yanis, as Hector introduced me, and on behalf of Mayor Rosas, the City Council, and the City of Dunkirk, I really want to welcome everyone to Dunkirk's newly enhanced pier. Dunkirk's pier is the city's greatest asset, and it's located right here on the shores of Lake Erie, and today we're here to celebrate some major improvements that have been made to the pier. Mayor Rosas has really had a vision to revitalize Dunkirk's waterfront and downtown area. And by implementing public improvement projects such as this one, Dunkirk is now seeing more current and future private investment now more than ever before. That's some major economic development that we're going to be seeing coming to this area. The enhancements to the pier are just one step in that right direction for revitalization. Before I move forward to allow Mayor Rosas to speak, I want to welcome and acknowledge the presence of some of those that are with us today. I want to welcome our Lieutenant Governor, Kathy Hochul, all of her staff and Empire State Development staff. I also want to welcome our county legislator, Bob Bankowski. I also want to welcome Mayor Sam Teresi from the city of Dunkirk. Jamestown, I'm sorry. Exactly, we're all from Dunkirk today, thank you. And Katrina Fuller from Congressman Tom Reed's office. Thank you, Katrina, for coming today. I'd also like to acknowledge all of our city councilmen, Don Williams, Mike Civiletto, Marty Bamonto, Sean Heenan, and Andy Wallison for their support on the project. Let's give them a round of applause. The Pier Improvement Project includes enhancements on the city's harbor in order to act as a destination place for tourists, improve the quality of life for local residents, expand fishing amenities and opportunities, celebrate Dunkirk's maritime history and Lake Erie's ecology, strengthen the connection between the waterfront trails, regional trails, and downtown connection, further enhance recreational and cultural opportunities. The improvements were meant to enhance the safety of the pier while also including additional amenities for those to partake in fishing, docking up boats along the pier's edge. Improvements include multiple types of upgraded seating, such as the secured seating with the fish patterns, and new and improved benches to enjoy Dunkirk's amazing sunsets. Upgraded lighting has been installed, and in order to create a destination place, the pier improvements have also included placemaking signage that celebrates our pier, Lake Erie, and Dunkirk's maritime history. Pedestrian designated green space has been added, and updated landscaping allows for a more aesthetically pleasing enhancement to our pier. We've got some well-defined trail connections from the east and west sides of the pier that have included greater connectivity and safety for all of Dunkirk's residents and tourists, and investment enhancements to the pier's assets in order to revitalize Dunkirk's waterfront and downtown. Lastly, before I invite the mayor to say a few words, I would like to acknowledge our funding sources that help make the project a reality. Obviously, our main funding source for this project, as Hector stated, was from New York State Empire State Development through our Buffalo Billion Phase 2 funding for $2.5 million towards the overall project costs for Dunkirk's Pier project, the Central Connection project, and a private project right at the entrance of the pier that will be completed at the end of this fall. So now I'd like to give a round of applause and a welcome to Mayor Rosas. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. There's been a lot of excitement about this project here in the city of Dunkirk, and I am very honored here today to see all of you show up as we cut the ribbon and open it up to the public. The last few months, my office has received many calls. Some of them were compliments. I'm very excited about this project and opening it up to the public because we received a lot of calls from people who actually were questioning whether or not this was the right thing to do. And I stand very proud before you because just looking around and seeing the improvements makes me feel very good, like we've actually accomplished something here in the city of Dunkirk. And so I just want to thank our governor for the support that he has given Western New York, Chautauqua County, and the city of Dunkirk. When I came into office 4 years ago, one of the first things that we said we were going to do was we were going to develop our waterfront. We've improved our beaches, we've improved our parks, and now we've enhanced our pier. This is all part of the process to make the city of Dunkirk's waterfront a destination to bring people here. We're seeing this happening, and it's a wonderful feeling to see all the people that are coming out here. This weekend coming, we have the Grand Prix offshore boat races coming here to the city of Dunkirk. These are the fastest boats in the world, which would be right here. We expect this to be a major event. It will be covered by CBS. CBS is going to be covering it live, and we're very excited about this project. We want to invite everyone to come out. The pier is going to be used for this event, and we are very excited about this event coming. I also want to say that when we came into office, my administration was focused on developing the waterfront, and now we're going to be focused on developing our central business district. It's all going to be connecting. Part of the smart growth funding that we received for this project was used to enhance our Central Avenue Business District. And that's what we're going to be focusing moving forward, is to bring more businesses to our downtown area. So, without further ado, it is my privilege and honor to introduce to you our New York State Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Kathy Hochul.
Great to be back in downtown Dunkirk here, and I have to tell you, I've been here as a boater. So as a consumer of marine life and communities all along Lake Erie, I am so excited that one closest to my hometown of Buffalo has been resurrected in such a spectacular way. And you notice the smaller amenities like benches and nautical-themed streetlights and just having a little bit of grass to have a picnic, it really makes a difference and changes people's perceptions of a community. So I've seen a lot, but I want to tell you that you have morphed into a first-rate destination right on the shores of Lake Erie, and that is a day worth celebrating. To Rebecca, to you and your incredible team, because I'm out of local government, I know how hard it is to pull it all together and get the community support behind ideas on how to spend $2.5 million, but congratulations to the outstanding work you did as well. Mayor, it has been a pleasure to work with you. You have been a true friend of the governor and myself, and always willing to take our money and spend it. And I'm so proud that you actually got a few compliments. I'm waiting for that day in my 25-year public life, but that's all right. If you got some compliments, that's outstanding as well. And great to have our state partners as well. Assembly Member Andy Goodell has always been at our side as we're working to bring back communities like Dunkirk and your entire district. And thank you for your leadership as well. Sam Teresi, it's great to see you coming up from Jamestown. You almost got the chance to represent two communities, it sounded like today, Dunkirk and Jamestown. You're certainly up to the task. And Dennis Hefner, our interim president at Fredonia, is here as well to help celebrate. When the governor first, thank you. When the governor first announced that there'd be smaller grants, $2.5 million grants as part of the Buffalo Billion, Smart Growth Communities, people weren't sure what the outcome would be. We really, again, empower the local communities to chart their own destiny. We'll put money on the table. We'll help you, but don't ask us to tell you your future. You determine your future. and you realize that there are so few communities that can lay claim to the gorgeous vistas that you have right here. And I've watched the sunsets, sitting right over there listening to great music at night. That's me with my ponytail and a baseball hat, in case you didn't recognize me. And just to tip you off, my baseball hat when I'm on a boat says co-captain. And my husband has one too, because he was going to call me lieutenant captain. And I said, no, I'm always number 2. Can I just be a co-captain? So we love coming here. But to know that what the residents know, that there's a spectacular quality of life here as well. You don't have to be a fisherman. You don't have to be someone who just loves the waterfront. There are so many attractions and amenities to living in this great community. It's the right size. It's a size where you can get involved in your community and make a true difference. That's what I love about Dunkirk. So you have this incredible waterfront brought back with the $2.5 million assistance from the state. But also there's other phases. As the mayor and Rebecca mentioned, it's about creating connections, because we don't want to have an oasis over here. We want to have a connection so boaters come here and realize there is more than just the wonderful shops and what's coming at Pier 30 very shortly and what we're going to have here. You need to wander into the downtown and experience the charm of a community just like this and realize that these buildings and the stories of the people who work and live in them are incredible. You need to get to know everyone. And so having physical connections, which is what the next phase is, and I think we're on the verge of opening up very soon, but working on the intersections and the bike paths and the crosswalks, creating a safe way to go from the waterfront to downtown. That was the missing link that is now going to be completed and made whole. We have now made this community whole. And so I want to thank everyone involved. This area was one of my favorites. You know, I'm from Hamburg. And when I would be trying to escape my public life in Hamburg, I always found my way down to Chautauqua County, because people didn't know who the heck I was. I could walk into wineries and stop down in Mayville and Jamestown and stop here along the way and stop at the institution. And so I always have cherished this as a place of R&R for me. I come to this area to relax, to enjoy an incredible quality of life. So also to everyone who grew up in Western New York, to not just see the rebirth of Buffalo and communities like that, to know that the impact of Governor Cuomo's concern and willingness to work with upstate New York to bring back communities that have been neglected my entire lifetime, and we all know what that felt like, to know that we matter. Communities like Dunkirk truly matter, and that's why I'm so proud as a local girl to be able to help bring resources to this community and to be here on this day to see its comeback. A huge point of pride for me. So congratulations to everyone involved, and I look forward to the ribbon cutting here, but many more as we continue the great story of the city of Dunkirk. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to welcome Assemblyman Andy Goodell to say a few words.
What a great day here in Dunkirk, isn't it? Last week I was up here fishing. We went out and in a course of about 5 hours we caught well over a dozen walleye. Incredible fishing opportunities. Of course, all of you, I'm sure, have been up here on Thursday nights and enjoyed the concerts that are here every Thursday night during the summer. What a great, great asset, isn't it, for the city of Dunkirk? And if you look along the shore, on your left, you see Wright Park. Behind me, Memorial Park. Behind our soon-to-be redeveloped electrical station is Point Gratiot. This community has embraced the Lake Erie shoreline, and it's made this community a special place to live. This development here, the redevelopment of this pier, is just the latest in a long line of improvements that this city has made under the leadership of our mayor. And with the assistance of Governor Cuomo and the state government. Thank you so much, Kathy. Now, there is a downside, as you know, to every project. And one of the downsides to this project is as Kathy Holcomb comes here more and more often, she's less and less anonymous. Kathy? We're delighted to have you, and we'll try to be pleasant every time we recognize you. A project like this, as I mentioned, is just the latest. A few years ago, as you know, our Congressman Tom Reed worked closely with the Army Corps of Engineers to make sure that the harbor was dredged. It's great to have this view. It's even better to be able to use the harbor, right? And so thanks to Tom Reed and his efforts, that was the first step. We saw the redevelopment of Wright Park. And what a great asset that is, isn't it? What a beautiful park. And while the state is certainly a partner in this project, no project like this moves forward without local leadership. It's the local leaders, Mayor Rosas, the City Council, Rebecca. It's local leaders that identify the project, make sure it moves smoothly, and make sure it becomes a reality. And while the state is proud to be a partner in this project, my hat's off to the Mayor Rosa, the City Council, the Planning Department, and all the rest of you that made this a reality. What a great day for Dunkirk, and I look forward to even more great things to come.
Thank you, everyone, for saying such great, wonderful, kind words. This project is so exciting. I just wanted to say a couple more things before we wrap up. The project could not be made possible without our team from Barton and LaJudas. They did design, engineering, and construction management on this project. We want to give a round of applause to them. Thank you so much. I also want to thank Block Club for their branding and marketing designs for our great banners. There's more to come with all of that design work, but they've really gotten us started. The banners are beautiful. And I also lastly wanted to thank our contractor on the job, Nova Site Company, for their hard work and all the subcontractors that got this done. So let's give them a round of applause. Lastly, again, I'd just like to thank Governor Cuomo on behalf of the mayor for his continued support. I want to thank Mayor Rosas for his vision for this project, the City Council, our DPW Director, Randy Woodbury, and all of his staff that did such tremendous work on this project, as well as our Parks Department and my staff for all the time and effort that was put into this. So it was a great, smooth process, and we're happy that it's completed. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, and now we're going to do our ribbon cutting ceremony just behind us, and then we'd invite everyone to walk the pier, take a little tour, and also stop by our boardwalk to have some food and shop in the shops and Dimitri's restaurant to grab some lunch later. And thank you all for coming.
Hi, I'm Jordan Rosas here with Dunkirk Access. We are here on our new revitalized Dunkirk Pier. Take a look at all the people who came out here for the ribbon cutting ceremony today. Just take a look at all the green space that we have now. The pier is repainted. We have brand new benches out here. This is going to be an awesome place to watch the sunsets. Obviously, the sun sets in the west, and we have a perfect view. The pier facing the west coast, obviously, so it's a tremendous view to watch the sunsets. All these benches, perfect place for fishing. I can't wait to have our offshore racing Grand Prix here. We're going to have an amazing view from here. It's going to be so much fun to watch all the boats get put in the water. These are, of course, the fastest boats in the world. And we have all this green space now. So come on out, check out our new pier, and enjoy. We're here with Councilman Mike Civiletto. Councilman, how awesome is it to have this new pier here?
It's fantastic. We've been waiting quite a long time for it. We've gone through a lot of different phases of it and trying to tweak it, and now to actually see it instead of being on paper is just, it's wonderful. It's fantastic.
I love the vibrant colors. I mean, a year ago, this looked totally different. And in Western New York, there's always the old adage of there's winter and construction season, and oftentimes it takes multiple construction seasons to get a project finished. How were you guys able to get this totally revamped in one season like this?
Well, you know, it was the work of the construction company, they were on this every single day, and I saw them, working late, and it was really just it was just a big huge concrete slab is all it was. That's all our pier was. It was a big huge concrete slab with a couple of lines on it. So we had to mill it, and then it was just building it from there. So it was, as we had to put all the wiring in, and they did a great job. Finishing it in 4 months is fantastic. The only thing they have left to do is to put the sign over the entrance and put some garbage cans in, and we should be. There's going to be a gazebo at the front, a little shelter for people to hang out, maybe have some lunch under if it's sunny out or if it's raining. But yeah, there's going to be there's all kinds of places to sit, which is something that we never had at the pier. You had to bring your chair. You had to come down here and sit out in the hot sun. There was no grass. There was no place that was pedestrian friendly. Now I come down here on the weekends and I see 10s, 20s, lots of people walking, just enjoying it and slow walking, and it's just a fantastic idea and a fantastic project.
So a lot of people have said that, there's this green space, there's less parking spaces, it's going to be harder to get to the pier. But you'd actually say that with all the benches, the seating and whatnot, it's actually going to make it easier for people to get into the pier and enjoy it. There's actually going to be more space for people to sit more comfortably in the pier.
Right, and I think the word that you're using is people. This is a pier that is now accessible to people, as opposed to a pier that's accessible to cars. It's still accessible to cars. We still have 35 spots. We did studies and we never found that there was really more than 35 cars on here at one given time, even during a very busy period. So you can still drive all the way to the end of the pier. You can still do everything that you used to do, but you can do 100 things more that you couldn't do before. You could never sit on a park bench and just look. You could never sit on a park bench and fish. We've got all new posts to dock your boats. The fear of the pier crumbling on the edges is gone. It's just we've created this pier for the next generation, and that's really what we're doing. We're doing it so little kids can be proud of Dunkirk, proud of their pier, and not proud of a concrete slab that goes out into the middle of the water.
Well, it looks amazing. Thank you so much, Councilman.
Thank you.
We're here with Special Events Director Hector Rosas. So some people have voiced concerns that with the new layout of the pier, it could make it a bit more difficult for music on the pier. It could be a little more tricky to fit everyone in. What would you say to ease those concerns?
They have nothing to worry about. Look at the grass. You can place your lawn chairs there, maybe a blanket or two, and there's more greenery here. There's a lot of benches now. I think there's 35 or 36 benches here. The lighting is just great, LED lighting, and the posts go back to an 1898 model, antique lights, and the renovations are great. The outer break wall, if you look at the outer break wall, if you want to take a peek at that, you'll see all the greenery and shrubbery is gone. All the trees that were growing there are gone. So it's going to make for a great event for the Dunkirk's Great Lakes Offshore Grand Prix, which begins Friday with the community parade beginning at 5 p.m. After that, the boats will be in the water Saturday at 10 a.m. and Sunday at 10 a.m. for the Grand Prix. Time trials are Saturday, and each day we have entertainment, and then we'll finish up the trophy and purse presentations, the awards presentation on Sunday with a fireworks finale, which will be held Sunday. So that'll be held right out the pier. So we might be moving to Memorial Park because of the fireworks for the entertainment, but otherwise the pier will be used.
Excellent. So obviously then the pier would be an excellent vantage point for watching the boats and Memorial Park as well?
Yeah, I think the best vantage point actually is going to be the Lakefront Boulevard, which will be closed to cars and traffic, and it'll be a pedestrian area, a whole mile strip there, and it'll be lined with speakers throughout the lake wall from Main Street all the way to Wright Park, where the HUD is located. So that's the best vantage point, and the best viewing point would be Main Street to Wright Park on Lakefront Boulevard.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, I'm here with New York State Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. Thank you so much for coming out to Western New York. I know there's so many responsibilities with your job all across the state. How do you manage to come back and be such a huge presence in Western New York so consistently?
Well, I'm a Western New Yorker, and so this is my home. I was born and raised in Hamburg, just down the road, so I'm well familiar with Dunkirk, Fredonia. This county is a place I used to visit constantly as a child, and the beaches we have here and the waterfront, spectacular. But now as Lieutenant Governor, to be able to come here and announce $2.5 million and a huge amount of that going toward this pier it's a real point of pride for me to see a community that I've seen my entire life that was a little bit down and out in some ways, like my hometown of Hamburg, and now communities like Hamburg and Dunkirk are coming back. So it starts at the waterfront. Very few communities can lay claim to having this incredible natural resource. We have it right here, and we have a responsibility to protect it, celebrate it, and promote it.
Absolutely. Ever since you've been in office, it's been impossible to ignore the changes that have come up. It's so great to have you. What do you see happening in the future going forward?
Well, we also have to focus on downtowns. We have the waterfront attraction for boaters and residents who live here. It's beautiful, but also downtowns get a little worn down. They're like jewels that need to be polished up once in a while. So we're focused on making sure that the facades are important. There's money for downtown housing in communities like Dunkirk. So that's our next focus, is to make them more livable, accessible, and a place people want to grow a business and raise their families.
Thank you so much. It's excellent to have you working with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care now.
Of course. All right, we're here with Planning and Special Events Director Rebecca Yanis. So a year ago, this looked totally different. How did this come about so quickly in less than a year?
It has been a longer process than a year, believe it or not. We last summer went through a design and engineering phase. So we worked with our designers and our engineers to come up with a design, held a lot of different public meetings to get public input. And then we finally got our designs in order and hired our contractors in the spring. So luckily, we held them to a tight timeline. Our grant funds are up at the end of this year, so we had to get this project done this summer. And now it's a beautiful place and a great destination for Dunkirk's waterfront.
That's awesome, and it's coming in just in time for the Offshore Grand Prix. How important is it to have this done and completed in time for that event?
Well, it's huge because it's going to showcase Dunkirk's waterfront, Dunkirk's pier, and hopefully that'll bring in some interested developers that want to help redevelop our waterfront in our downtown area. And just to be able to showcase that, the boat races are going to be on the television worldwide, so people will be able to see the beautiful new pier and maybe want to come and visit Dunkirk because of it. So it's great.
Oh, awesome. First we had the splash pad, now we have the pier. What's next on the horizon for you?
We're hoping to start on Lakeshore Drive Complete Streets project, more beautification of the streets. So we received $1.5 million grants for Lakeshore from Main Street to Brigham. And doing kind of more of a complete street, aesthetically pleasing, making it more pedestrian friendly and like a safer environment, but also just making it look prettier, just beautify Dunkirk.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the time.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I saw they just painted the blue stripes on. I thought